Hey YouTube, welcome back to the Allegheny Northern N scale. This is I guess it's a special weekend. You're getting two videos, lucky you. What I wanted to show you was that the start of the second level has begun. So what I decided to do was hang the second level off the bench work for the lower level because there's no wall here, obviously. It connects nicely to this wall and the existing part of the layout, which I showed you last week. Now, this wall and that wall were built strictly for the layout, so they're not really walls. They're more like screens, but they are structural enough to hold the upper level. And you may have noticed all these parts and pieces up above here. This came from the coal mine scene, which was one of my favorite scenes, but it didn't really fit on the new layout when the layout moved from the first floor down to the basement. So the branch line that used to service it now goes nowhere because that rolling piece doesn't fit in there anymore. And it's actually all just the better because I never connected it. It was pretty much a pain to deal with, pain to get to, pain to switch. So it's gone now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this switch because I won't need it anymore. And this is, still functions and it's usable. So I'm going to repurpose it, and then I'm going to model this area here as an abandoned line. So I already have one abandoned line here. Let's see, let me show you right there. It was a similar situation. There was a switch there at one point in time. I removed everything and repurposed it. And so just like the real railroads, I left a little bit of tie and road bed and rail behind just to show it. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to leave the road bed in place. I'm going to take this track out. I have some old pieces of broken flex track. I'll use those in here to scenic this. And then this line here that branches off will service nothing but the small engine facility here at the end. So it still has a purpose, so that's not like I have to abandon that whole line. But now the mine switcher and the mine are going to be up here. And I chose to put them on this side as opposed to the far side. You can see I've already started making that connection. Because above here is where I'm going to place the harbor scene. The intermodal scene is going to run above that portion of the layout. Reason being is actually length of run. So with the harbor over here, when trains are departing from the harbor area, they're going to come this way. And then when they hit this little land bridge, they're going to go through the wall, down the helix, and then they're going to come out in this direction. They will have to make an entire loop around the layout from there before they can get to this land yard. And that'll give it a nice long run. And then the only way to get into this yard, because the switching faces the other direction, will be a series of switch maneuvers that I'm going to use this yard over here for to get those trains tucked away. Okay, so now the coal mine on this side serves a very similar purpose. So once the mine is going to sit somewhere in and about this area, it's about the halfway mark, and then the tracks are going to run through it. There's going to be a coal marshaling yard here at the end where trains can be built, broken down, depending whether they're going inbound or outbound. And then there's going to be a main line that runs along the front here, which you can see where that's starting right there now. And then the mine will sit in the back, and so this would theoretically keep an operator busy with incoming, outgoing trains, that sort of thing. Now, once the trains are ready to depart, they will go through that hole in the wall, through the hidden staging, down the helix, and their final destination is the power plant back there. But once again, in order to get to that, they'll have to come out through the interchange yard, and then they'll have to go all the way around the layout, and then they're going to be facing in the wrong direction. So there'll be a backup maneuver, switch maneuver. Haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet, but then those cars will come out, and then they will make a very short trip. So the switcher from the power plant here will take the train car, the empties up the main. We'll leave them at the interchange yard, and then the short line in between will take those trains back to the coal mine. So that's kind of sort of how I'm playing things right now. And then of course something is going to be here yet. I haven't decided what industry or industries yet. That's sort of just playing with some track. So I've got some track ordered for here. Should be in by next weekend, and then we'll get this sort of started here. Okay, so that's the update. Oh, actually, probably should mention before we sign off here that obviously adding the upper level has made the lower level very, very dark. So lights need to be added here to sort of return daylight to the underside area. It's even worse over there because it is legitimately right below the light, so it has blocked all the light. So I will have to do, I'm not going to do these shop lights. In fact, I'm going to take this shop light out of here because it kind of hangs like a weird shaped sun. So we're gonna get this out of here, use some rope lights underneath, and that will be us. So this is Weekend Adventures for July, August part 2. Yesterday was pretty productive, so I thought I'd share that with you.